Give you what you need to take news and lab interviews. What's going on, y'all? Give you what you need to take news and lab interviews. Jared Lang. What's going on, y'all? Give you what you need to take news and lab interviews. What's going on, y'all? Jared Lang.
What's up, y'all? What's going on? This is Jared Lanyard Tech, giving you what you need in news and interviews. Today, we got a local superstar on the show. Today, we got Miss Kristi Coleman. Welcome to the show, ma'am.
Hey, everybody. Wait, first I have to say that video is pretty cool.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Wait, hold on. I'm having a hard time hearing you. What did you say?
I said thank you. Can you hear me now?
I'm having a hard time hearing you. I'm sorry.
All right. How about now?
Say that one more time.
I said, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
All right. There we go. All right. So tell our listeners give a little bio about yourself.
You said give you a little bit about myself? Sorry, I don't know what's going on in the internet connection or something like that. I'm sorry. Okay, so yeah, let's get into it. So I graduated from Dillard University in mass communications with a minor in theater. I also went to Tulane University to post-baccalaureate to get in digital design. But while I was at Dillard, I started in radio. So I started at Power 102.9, and that's where I got my name DJ Sugar Cookie from. And that name kind of stuck with me with my DJing now. But I was just blessed to start my career, at such a young age while I was a senior at Dillard. And in so many ways, of course, I'm on Fox 8, traffic reporter, reporting as well now. I also work in education. I work with the school board and video editing. So I like to say I'm a well-rounded person, if you will. So yeah, for me, as far as like my experience.
Okay, cool. So what made you want to get into the media industry?
I always knew what I wanted to do at a young age. I was a pretty good student, AB student, but as far as knowing what I knew I wanted to do something in communications at a young age. So when I got to Dillard, it was no. Sometimes you may have friends who are kind of out. I wasn't that person, and no shades to anybody else, but like I said, I was always into music and to the production of award shows. I was like fascinated by that. So at a young age, I just kind of knew what I wanted to do. So once I got it, Dillard, I wanted in the plays, and I wanted to work and put things together and just always be hands-on. So if that answers your question, I just feel like this is what I'm born to do.
Okay, cool. All right. So let's get into it. So when did you know that you were able to be able to talk in front of people? Like that's most people's biggest fears. Like how do you know you were comfortable with it?
Because at Dillard, we had speech classes. And by me taking those classes, that definitely helped me get over my fear of talking in front of people. It wasn't something that came easy because in radio, you're not talking to anybody. You're in a room by yourself, a mic in front of you, so you really don't see anybody. But transitioning into TV, still you can't see the people. It's knowing that in your mind, like, wow, to tens of people, like everybody can see what I'm doing right now. So I think it like I said, it doesn't happen overnight. Comfortable with yourself, you kind of have to find yourself and find your voice. But taking speech classes at Dillard definitely helped. Being in the plays at Dillard um, helped as well. And some people just have it. Me, I wouldn't say that I had it, but I did have to with the fact that wow, everybody can see me right now.
Okay, cool. So, who was one of your favorite guests that you ever interviewed?
What did you say?
I said, who was your favorite person that you interviewed?
I am so sorry. You keep breaking up.
It's okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I was saying,
For
who was
some
your
reason,
favorite
the
person?
sound keeps going in and out.
Okay.
My favorite.
Yeah, who was your favorite person that you interviewed?
Okay, now I hear you. I have to say my favorite person that I've interviewed. Are you familiar with her?
Who was that?
Hello.
I couldn't hear you. Yeah, who was that?
I said Marseille Martin. Familiar with her? She's the actress
No.
from Blackish. So have you seen the show Blackish?
Okay.
She's the
Yeah,
little girl.
of course.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And she played
the little
in
boss, glass.
yeah, she played in with Ray. So that would have to I've interviewed, some people, but I feel like she was my favorite interview to date. I interviewed her last summer for Essence Music Festival. And just to say that, I think she just turned like 16 or something like that. But the girl has got it going on. Like I was just so amazed how spoken she was. She had a head on strong, and I feel like she's a force to be reckoned with. Like she's really a voice for the, and it was her. I felt I saw a little bit of myself in her, because she knew what she wanted to do. She knows what she wants to do at such a young age. Not saying that I had it all figured out, but
Mm,
she's just. I love her determined, her drive at her age.
okay. Cool. So how was it preparing for being on the news? Like what's the work ethic like? People want to know the behind the scenes of what's the prep work? Do you prep like the day before? Do you prep early in the morning? How does that work?
Say it again.
I I said people want to know how do you prepare for being on the show and your news on a news network? Like, do y'all have shows that, like the day
How's
before and go through things, or we go early in the morning?
I'm so sorry, Jared. I can't hear anything.
Uh, okay. All right. Can you hear me now? You hear me?
No, I can hear you,
Nothing?
but when you start
No?
talking and saying like a long question, I can't hear anything.
Okay, hold on. Let me see something. I got something. Let me put some headphones on.
Okay.
All right.
I'm so sorry. Don't hate me, guys.
This better? This better? You still can't hear me?
Hello?
Hello? Yeah, you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Hello?
Yeah. Do you
Hear
hear
you?
me? You don't hear me? You hear me now?
You, but it's kind of like a delay.
Okay. All right. You probably have to get. Are you closer to your router? You over Wi-Fi? You probably have to get closer to your router.
I cannot hear me.
Yeah, I hear you fine. I hear you. All right, hold on. All right, hold on. We'll bring it back, ladies and gentlemen. Give me 1 second. All right, how about now? Still nothing? You still can't hear me?
Hello?
Yeah, you still can't hear me?
I heard you say that.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
No, I wonder if it's another way to work.
All right. Give me 1 second. Let me see something. We coming, folks.
You laughing at me?
All right. Yeah. I hear you. You hear me now?
I know. I know. I feel so bad. I can't.
Yeah. Are you on Wi-Fi or are you on your cell signal? Hold on.
Look, I
I'm
see
gonna
your
check it.
mouth moving, but I can't hear it.
Hold on.
Let's be able to check it. Okay, let's see. Say something.
Hello. Nothing. I'm talking right now.
Okay, now I hear you. Okay, I hear you
Okay.
now.
You hear me now? Okay. So we good?
Yes, it's best, but I do hear you.
Okay. All right. I forgot my
Okay, let's
question.
let's let's just try. Let's try.
Okay. I forgot my question. So what did this go? How do you go about your day going for preparation for your show?
Well, now in this, I'm working from home, so things are a little bit different. But getting to the station, my days start really early. We go at 4:30. Makeup, hair, all of that has to be done before we start. Um, and some people think that we have a glam squad, but that's not the case. We have to do our own makeup, our own hair, um, and we have to be able to go, for 4:30 every day. On air until 10 a.m. And then sometimes I do the noon show as well. So we have some pretty long days, I'd say. But it's all worth it. It's exciting seeing people out in the street. And when they say, hey, Kristi, I watch you every day, so it makes it all worth it. But it is not for everybody. I would say that if you're not, you've got to be a morning person. That brain has to be connected as soon as you wake up, because news, we deal with breaking news on a regular. So you just have to know how to work in a fast paced environment.
Okay, cool. All right. So, what would you give
I don't
somebody
know what time
advice?
you get up, but
I get up.
I
I get
know
up
it's
like at
not
six
like
o'clock.
3 o'clock in the morning.
Nah, I don't get up that early. I get up at like 6.
Wow.
4:30. That's real
I
early.
am super
Oh.
jealous. Super jealous.
Okay. So, what advice would you give someone that wants to get into the news industry or media? What recommendations you would give them to start off?
You said, what advice would I give them?
Yes.
Definitely know what you're getting yourself into. We work on holidays, we work on weekends sometimes, especially now that we're in hurricane season. You have to always be on board. Um, and you have to be ready. You have to be a team player. And social life kind of takes a back seat. I've been doing this for about 7 years now, and I've been in the industry for about 10. And you have to be able to put social life on hold. You know, so the advice I would give to someone is to, like I said, know what you're getting yourself into, and knowing what you want. You have to be a hard worker at this business, and you have to be hands on. You have to always challenge yourself as well.
Okay. Cool. So, you also used to be a radio personality at a local radio station. So
Yes, I
can you
started
explain
at
a little bit?
102.9.
Okay.
What
Can you
you
explain a
say?
little bit about that? Can you go in a little bit of background about that? Because I'm pretty sure a lot of your viewers are unaware of that.
Yes. So, a lot of people always, well, a lot of people know that I'm DJing now, Sugar Cookie. Um, that actually started from Power 102.9. And that's where I got my start in the industry. Like I said, I was a senior at Dillard, started in the industry there, and it has helped me a lot transition into TV. Um, with finding my voice and my on air presence. So when I got to TV, I think it helped me a lot being able to talk in front of a camera and talk in front of a crowd. So I really have to for helping me do that. But a lot of people now, when they see me, because I'm on TV, you see my face. But if I'm talking on the radio, you don't really see my face. You hear my voice. People, when they see me and I'm DJing now, and they say, well, how can you DJ and you want to be a reporter? But is that's where I started. So it all ties in together. Um, so yeah, a lot of people are like, how can you do both? You're on TV, but that's why I started. That's why I got my background. That's why I broke into the industry. So you're right. A lot of people really don't put two and two together.
Okay. Cool. So, so how was it? What is your how did you get into DJing? Like, who taught you? Was it just a pastime, or you just got on the ones and twos one day and you just hooked? How did you get into DJing?
How did I get into DJing, you said?
Yes.
Well, it's something I always wanted to do. Like I said, being on the radio, I was the weekend jock there. So I was on air Saturday and Sundays. And that was me just talking to the listeners, through the mic. I didn't necessarily DJ spin records. So a lot of people don't, think about that. But always being around my friends, I've got to shout out DJ Chicken, also DJ Belange, for helping me transition into actually working with turntables. Like I said, it's something I always wanted to do, and I just kept putting it off and putting it off, saying I was too busy, I had too much going on. One day I kind of say, you know what? I'm going to make this a reality. I'm going to invest in myself and really go off with it. And I'm I'm so happy that I did because it's such an outlet for me. I love being a creative person. I love challenging myself and trying new things. And it's just so exciting to do, um, and be a part of it. Um, it's a big responsibility because, DJing parties or events, you have that power of moving a crowd. So what could be scary, it's also exciting because, you have the power to make or break a party. And so at the end of the event, once people say, we had so much fun, you did a good job, it makes it all worth it. So I'm very happy to be DJing. I thank everyone for embracing me and supporting me on this journey. I've been DJing 2 years now. Um, and just to have so much support around me just means a lot.
Okay. So, what's the biggest event you've DJ'd before?
Hmm. Biggest event. So last year I hosted Essence at the year before I actually DJ'd. And that was my biggest event to date. And it was so much fun. Um, just being in front of a crowd and looking out and seeing everybody doing the wobble or, doing some line dance. It just makes you go like, wow, they're actually, moving to the music I'm playing. So I would have to say that was the biggest event I've done so far.
Okay, cool. So, how's your work life balance? You waking up early in the morning? What's usually a typical work day for you? Waking up at 4:30 in the morning. What time do you get off?
Well,
It's like you.
yeah, so like I said, we start at 4:30. And I'm also working with school board. So if I'm done for the day, it might be like 5, 6 o'clock. And then it's time to eat dinner, you know, do whatever I want to do, chill out for a little bit, and then it's back in the bed. So I am tired a lot. I do stretch myself thin sometimes. Like I said, social life kind of takes a back seat. But I enjoy what I do. And I'm a hard worker. So at the end of the day, it's all worth it to see everything come to life. Um, whether it's a project working on or like I said, when you were asking for like advice, to younger people, I've seen a lot of people coming my age. And I think it's because they didn't realize how much social life, kind of gets taken away from it. Bad. Um, you know, People take to things differently. But good thing is I know how to balance it. So I do a lot of my stuff on the weekends, or I look forward to vacations. When I vacation, I totally unplug and I try to stay away from social media. Because we tend to get wrapped up in social media. So I think it's important to, for myself at least, when vacation time comes around, um, I really like to unplug from everything.
Okay, cool. So what are your do's and don'ts for someone who's interested in doing the media,
My do's and don'ts when it comes to what?
working in the media industry?
Well, when I'm talking to um, a lot of the young men who may come to the station, or if I'm just out doing talks, I think that the number one thing to pay attention to is social media. We know that things on social media tend to get um, around pretty quickly. And so, especially for those who are looking to get into the business, your bosses are looking. They're actively looking at your social media. So you have to watch what you say, what you put on there, who you associate yourself with. All of that is a reflection of you. Um, so I think that would be my number one thing, is to watch your social media. You have to be careful and what you put out there. I'm protective of my brand and um, my image. So social media is number one for me.
My mic
I think I
muted.
lost.
Uh, yeah, I had my mic muted. Sorry about that.
Oh.
All right. So so
We just having all kind of issues.
I mean, this is like the worst tech episode ever. But anyway, we'll get through it.
Pandemic. We've been working from home. So it's 2020. Can we just say that it's 2020? So
Right, exactly. It
anything
is
is
2020.
just bound to happen.
So speaking of COVID, so you said that earlier that you work from home mostly. So how does COVID affect you working like what technology do you use to help you do your job?
You're gonna have to say that one more time. What you said?
I was saying since the COVID and most people work from home, including yourself, what do you use to help you do your job? Like what type of technology? Do you do Zoom? Do you have your own camera set up? How does that work?
Well, I'm actually using my tripod now. I use every
Okay.
morning, and this is kind of like my little work background. So for the people who watch Fox 8 in the morning, they'll see this looks familiar. And I'll give you in a little secret. Um, I'm sitting on two books and some covers to give me the height that I need. Okay, it's set, but I'm actually sitting on books. Um, so yeah. So working from home, a little situation here, but I've got my light over there in the corner, two computers that I work through. Of course, I've got to type my scripts in and keep an eye on traffic with my traffic system. So even though I'm working from home, it is pretty busy nonstop. Working from home as well.
Okay, cool. All right. So what was the that moment that you knew that you were a huge success, that you made it, that you lived your dream?
Hmm. I wouldn't necessarily say I've made it because um, everything is a learning process for me. Um, but I remember the day when I first found out that I had gotten the position at Foxy. And I was very excited because even I had done some TV stuff before. I had done some TV before, but it wasn't to that magnitude. So I started whew, maybe like 2 years after I had graduated college. So that was pretty exciting for me to be so young. A lot of people don't get that opportunity. So to be in radio and on TV at the same time, I have to say that I'm blessed for that opportunity. But I'm still growing, still learning every day. So uh, no, I made it. I don't know. I'm just a very humble person. I like to learn any and everything that I can and keep challenging myself. So I never want to put that in my mind and say that I've quote unquote made it because I feel like it's always new to learn, always a new challenge to take on, to keep growing every day.
All right. So what was your worst mistake and how did you come back from that in your career?
My worst mistake,
Hmm.
as far as to what, like on TV or in the
Yeah, on
career?
TV, radio, career, DJ.
Um, I don't know if I have a necessarily worst mistake, but I have stuttered on air.
Okay.
I've sneezed on air. I've there. So there's definitely some bloopers here and there when you're dealing with live TV. Anything can happen. So I don't know about worst mistake, but I'm just human like everybody else. So and I think the viewers know that, and just how you kind of bounce back from that is just you just take a second, collect yourself, and then keep going. But when I first started, so many things were going in my mind. Like if I messed up, you just feel like the whole wall in slow motion. But as the days went on, the years went by, you kind of learn how to deal with those things. So, um, as far as mistakes, I guess just kind of growing pains, learning how to deal with um, how you manage yourself and your audience while you're talking to thousands of people, A lot
Okay.
of people feel like it's easy, but when you're talking, you got so much going on in your head, making sure that pose, you're saying the accurate information, and you're saying it to where you're grabbing their attention. Because you got to think about it. This is like 5, 6 in the morning. People still half sleep, trying to get themselves together. So it's like you got to have a tone like where I'm grabbing you in, like, hey, you have to listen to this before you leave out the house. You know, all the things that I've learned over the years working in TV.
Okay. So since you're on TV a lot, and do you have a lot of fans who come up to you, ask for autograph, especially little kids, stuff like that?
Too, I do. Kind of. I try not to think about it too much. Sometimes I honestly forget because, like I said, I'm human, just like everybody else. But I'm so grateful for those who tune in every morning and say that they watch. It means so much to me to just have people support me. People who I told, it just feels so good to have people see something in you and want better for you. And when I meet kids, it's giving them advice to, stay in school, stay on the right path, and follow their dreams. They may not even want to be on TV, but um stay true to themselves. And I feel like um I am always going to be successful if I stay true to myself, and I think that's thing that I like to stress with people is to stay true to you, because nobody knows you better than you know yourself. So you're gonna have people that say, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that, why are you doing 5,000 different things? And it's just like, well, who are you to limit me? If I want to do this, I'm gonna go out and do it. If I want to challenge, I'm gonna go out and do it. Find a way to keep myself happy, keep myself growing, and keep myself out there. It's all about, like I said, it's all about challenging yourself. Life, you learn so much about yourself over the years, and sometimes your interests might change. Sometimes you might want to take on a new venture. So I feel like staying true to yourself. If you do that, you're gonna always win.
Okay, cool. So I have a couple more questions for you. So, what if somebody who wants to get in the media industry? Do you recommend them going to college and majoring in either media or journalism, or do you recommend, since we have like shows like myself, would it be
Wait,
use YouTube? Oh,
wait,
can you hear
say that
me?
again.
I
You're
said,
starting to bump a little bit. What did you say?
I said, if somebody wants to get in the media industry, do you recommend them going to college or just starting off creating their own content like YouTube or podcasts or something like that?
Well, I feel like everyone's lane is different. I won't necessarily say that you college to break into the media industry because we know that's not true. there are several successful people without degrees who are on TV and in the communications field. So I won't necessarily say that, but I will say that education allows you to network with people. It gives you something to fall back on, and it helps to kind of helps to groom you a little bit, you know? So I won't necessarily say that you need college to do that, even though it's, it looks good on paper, of course, um, but I feel like everyone has their own lane, and you've got to find works for you, because what works for me may not work for somebody else, and that's why it's always funny, you know, telling people, tell people about yourself, tell people how you got started. And then, the next person might say, oh, well, I need to do that. But that's not true, because your lane is different from my lane. So you have to find works for you, you know. And networking is so key in this business. It's so good to have connections, because, you may have something, somebody might be able to help you with something that you're looking for. Somebody might see something in yourself that you didn't see in your own self, see something that I didn't even realize. So networking is definitely important in this business.
Okay. All right. And are there any nonprofit organizations or any organizations in the city that you work with to give back to the community?
Say that again.
I said, are you a part of any organizations that like give back to community or nonprofit?
I didn't hear you. I heard you say nonprofit.
I said, I said, are you any part of any organizations that give back to the community?
Oh, no, I'm not part of any special organizations, but we have a lot of people who come to the station all the time. I go back to Dillon University. I go back to different schools, 35, and I like to talk to the kids sometimes and kind of give them advice and just kind of talk about my path a little bit. I'm not necessarily tied to any special organizations, but I do try to give back to the community when I can, and just try to help the younger generation and help them, um, I guess, figure out, try to help them not necessarily figure out what they want to do, but just give them a little insight, letting them know that it's hard work, it's a lot of hard work. Don't rush life. It's that's number one. Don't, a lot of generations say, I can't wait to, get older. I can't wait to do this and I can't wait to do that. It takes a lot of hard work, but it's such a satisfying feeling, when you see things come together at the end of the day. Um, so yeah, I love giving back to the community. I love reading to the kids. I love teaching them my skills, whether it's in front of the camera, like I said, a little bit of video editing, still photography as well. So just being hands-on with the kids, that's always fun.
Okay. Cool. All right. So that's all I have for you today. Can you let the people know your social media handles so they can reach out to you, tag you, leave you a comment?
Yes. So I'm on Instagram at K Coleman Nola. I'm on Twitter as well, at Facebook as well. So you guys hit me up if you have any questions. You just want to follow me and follow back. Yeah, so that's what I've been doing on social media. I haven't really been posting a lot though, since we've been in this whole quarantine. I've got to get better with that. Um, I will say quarantine has allowed me to slow down just a little bit, and enjoy life. So I'm thankful for that. I know that a lot of people have said that 2020 has been a tough one, and it's definitely been a tough one on me as well. But the one thing I can say that 2020 has helped me with is to kind of slow down, enjoy life, enjoy the people around me, and enjoy my peace as well. It's very important.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for being on the show. Thank you for your comments. Sorry for the technical issues that were going on. I don't know, it must be just 2020 affecting this episode for some reason because I never had that happen before. Uh, but we'll get through it. So remember,
Yes,
y'all,
thank you so much
subscribe,
for
like,
having
follow.
me.
Thank you for coming on the show. We finally got it done, even under these circumstances. We've been trying to link up for the past few months, but now we got it done.
Yes, 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 yes. Thank you so much for having me. This is so much fun. Like we have been trying forever, but we finally got it done tonight. So thank you so much. I appreciate you for having me on the show.
All right. Thank you for coming. All right, y'all. Check you on the next episode. We out. Thank you.